Hello and welcome to our reflections this Wednesday, the 23rd of December. 2 more days to go. So we continue with our theme of the O antiphons, and today it's O Emmanuel. O Emmanuel. God is with us. And the reading: O Emmanuel, our King and Lawgiver, hope of the Gentiles and their Saviour, come and save us, O Lord our God. And obviously that's where the hymn, O come, Emmanuel, the famous hymn, is taken from. You know, many of us believe that as we follow the liturgical year and we live the experience year after year after year with no change. And in fact, as we experience Advent and Christmas and then Lent and Easter, with the blocks of the ordinary time, the Trinity time in between, and the seasons, each of us is actually changed from the person who celebrated it the previous year. So it's never a matter of doing it all over again, as some would believe. Instead, every year we bring our changed lives and our changed selves to familiar patterns. Familiar times? No. Familiar patterns, yes. And thereby we create something new. Isn't that true with this year in particular? Advent was different to last year's Advent. And of course, one of the great differences is the advent of the coronavirus. And if we should learn anything from this past year with the coronavirus, then it is that all of us are changed. And in fact, we're reminded that yes, as each year passes, we change. The cyclical nature of life and liturgy is also at play, and in the sequence of the O antiphons. The last one, which is today, is from the Liturgy of the Hours, and it's actually the first that appears in that great hymn, O come, Emmanuel. Of course, we know, don't we, the promise is already fulfilled. We have been rescued, we have been shone on and taught, and all those things we have prayed for when we recite or sing the O antiphons. O Emmanuel suggests that we are consigned to wait with captive Israel. We mourn in lowly exile here until the Son of God appear. But Christ has appeared, been born, died, raised from the dead. So what happens tomorrow? What are we waiting for? And so Advent, you see, is not about sitting around passively until there is a new arrival in the crib on Christmas morning. Advent, and in fact, the whole of our lives as sisters and brothers of that child in the manger, requires us to wait actively. It requires response and a choice, even perhaps radicalization. And you know, the radical choice that we have to make is to become exiles. An exile is someone who is separated from the place they call home. And that relationship defines them. Without that connection, they would be free from the mournful longing for that particular place. But they would then just be a wanderer. Our task is to make ourselves exiles rather than wanderers, to orient ourselves towards God and long to abide in Him rather than to wander aimlessly in separation from Him. That is what Advent is all about and prepares us for. So, dear friends, soon we will celebrate that great day of Christmas that culminates our Advent journey, the last week which took us into the depths of the old antiphons. You know what? It has been my privilege to be part of this journey with you, which in fact began as early as the season of Holy Week in the year 2020 before Easter. And so, as I take my leave of you this day, I thank you for your participation in these reflections during this past year. And of course, as always, God bless, keep well, and stay safe here from our home in Bromley.